In early 2006, Galtricia Ntsimbi, who was originally from Brazzaville in the Congo, was living in Paris and had given birth to a daughter named Trycia following a short relationship. The child's father was concerned about the woman's unusual and worrisome behavior, referring to her as unhinged from reality. He sought custody of the then 6-month-old child by reporting the mother to French authorities. According to him, Ntsimbi had thrown Trycia against a wall, then banged a knife on the floor. Despite this, he was denied custody and the woman was awarded custody of the baby. After the case was resolved, the mother and daughter moved to London. Following the move, the woman's behavior seemingly did not change, or one could say it worsened. Some said what occurred just 8 months later was totally preventable. For months, neighbors called police to report that Galtricia was acting strangely. They said she was walking around in a daze, appeared to be talking to no one on her mobile phone, and they were also concerned about how her daughter was being raised. One neighbor, K. James, informed authorities that Trycia was allowed to run in the street, adding that once her mother had hurt the child by picking her up by her arm in a rough way and dropping her onto the sidewalk, causing her to cry. The woman said she felt very sorry for the child and noted that despite everything, she appeared happy and loved playing with other children outside. James suggested to the police officer that the child should be removed from her mother's custody because it was obvious that the woman was not well. Hussein, a then 26-year-old shopkeeper, recalled the woman coming into Tham's superstore where he worked with her daughter and telling him that he was her husband, the father of her child, and that they had lived together for 3 years. She further stated that he needed to come home, and according to the man, she even tried to enter his office on one occasion. Hussein had made multiple reports against Galtricia and alleged he had even made 5 reports in one day. He recalled that initially she appeared normal and would come to the store to buy food and sometimes champagne. One day, her behavior changed. The man ultimately banned her from the store. He wasn't the only one who experienced the woman's odd behavior. Another man, identified as Dougie, recalled Ntsimbi entering his barber shop on several occasions and also being told that he was her husband. Dougie said she would also tell him to come home and that everything would be all right. Following several reports being filed, 23-year-old Galtricia was arrested on August 8, 2007. A police spokesperson stated that they were looking into her background as a part of their investigation and confirmed that they had arrested a woman in her 20s on suspicion of harassment of a shopkeeper. Furthermore, the spokesperson shared that Ntsimbi had been issued a bail and released as they carried out their investigation. It was reported that there was difficulty in finding a French interpreter at the time to facilitate follow-up meetings, and none were held. On August 9th, social services conducted a mental evaluation on the woman following a referral from a police doctor who noted that she appeared to have a fixed delusional order. She was found by social services to be fit, thus the decision to take no further action. Trycia remained in her care. 48 hours later, she was visited by police a second time after more complaints about her behavior, but again, it was decided no further action was needed. 4 days after the second visit, around 2:15 a.m., paramedics were called to Galtricia's home in Barking, Essex, where they found 2-year-old Trycia gone as a result of 5 wounds to her chest, arm, and back. The child was laying on a red fluid-stained bed. Her passing was later attributed to hemorrhaging and shock caused by the blows. Additionally, Ntsimbi, who was next to her, was also suffering from wounds which were later deemed to be self-inflicted. They had been found by the woman's mother and half-brother, who were visiting from friends after becoming concerned about her daughter. A 25-centimeter knife was observed on the floor. Neighbors allegedly recalled screams at some point. Galtricia was taken to the hospital and admitted to the intensive care unit in what was described as serious condition. However, the injuries were not regarded as life-threatening. Sadly, Trycia had been pronounced gone. A multi-agency case review team quickly launched an investigation into the case. At the time, Barking and Dagenham Council representatives stated that the 2-year-old was not on the Child Protection Register and had not been under their care. Following the news, previously concerned neighbor Kay James spoke of how disgusted she was that nothing had been done to keep Trycia safe. She was of the opinion that the tragedy was completely preventable had anyone in power listened. One psychiatric report later suggested that the woman's use of Mary may have triggered her episode of mental illness. On May 12, 2008, Judge David Paget lamented about the failure of social services to take the police doctor's warnings further regarding Ntsimbi's condition. The forensic medical examiner was sufficiently troubled to say there might be a fixed delusional disorder. It seems 1,000 pities in retrospect, and of course hindsight is a wonderful thing. That his views were not followed up on more precisely, it might have avoided this tragedy, the judge said. Dr. Caroline Arden stated that the woman was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia and regarded her as mentally ill. Dr. Arden also said that Ntsimbi had not planned the attack on her daughter, that it was unprovoked and impulsive. Furthermore, she indicated that Galtricia was still exhibiting the same behavior and needed to be treated. Ntsimbi admitted to manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility, and Judge Paget sentenced her to be detained indefinitely under the Mental Health Act. In the interest of public safety, she was admitted to the John Howard Center in Hackney. May the family and friends of Trycia find solace in the happy memories, and may her soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.